Hi folks, this is Bob Main from the Handgun World Show. My website is www.handgunworld.com, and I invite you to listen to my weekly podcasts on common sense gun ownership and shooting and so forth. Recently a listener asked me to do a video on my vehicle carry method, and I thought it was a great idea, so that's the purpose for this video. I've talked on my podcast about carrying a gun between the console and the seat of my car, and how I do that concealed, and how I do it so that it's readily available in case I need it to defend myself. So I'm sitting in my 2002 Honda Accord, and you know what, folks, I believe in driving older cars that are paid for. I don't like car payments, so this is an 8-year-old car that I usually do my tooling around in. And so I'll show you how I carry. You can do this in almost any vehicle. Now, first of all, I've got my Glock 19. Alright, and as you can see, it's unloaded. I just wanted to verify that it is a safe and clear weapon. Now, as you can see the holster that I've got here. I got the little pocket, or not pocket holster, what am I saying? I've got this nylon holster that I bought. It's a cheap holster. It's about a $15 holster that I bought at a gun show. As you can see, it's got a pouch in the front of it there, so you can put an extra magazine in there as well. Okay, this is what I use. Now if you look, there's a little bit of rough side or rough texture on both sides of the holster here. That keeps it firmly in place when the gun is inside of it. So what I do is I put this right here in between the seat and the console of my vehicle, right between the transmission console and the seat. And then I put the Glock inside of it. I got to do this one-handed. It's easier if I do it two-handed, but I got to hold the camera. So there we go. So I put the Glock in there just like that. It's a fairly snug fit, but it's not too tight. Okay, and then I, of course, right now there's no magazine in the gun because I'm trying to be safe here, but obviously it'll be fully loaded and it'll sit between the seat and the console just like that, in that holster. Now, what I do then to conceal it, because I can't drive around like this. It's illegal for me to drive around like this. It's not a concealed handgun. I live in Texas, and I'm pretty sure that's the Texas law. What I do is I put a baseball cap over the gun, just like that. Now, that's a football cap. That's my Green Bay Packer cap. As you guys know, I'm a hardcore Packer fan because I grew up in the Green Bay area. So how about those Super Bowl champion Packers? You can put, obviously, any cap you want over it, but you see how it conceals the gun? And real easy, if I need to use my weapon, I just remove the cap and grab the Glock. Now, I'll show you how it draws out of that holster and how the holster stays put in a minute. What I do not suggest is don't do this. Don't put a Glock hat over it. As soon as somebody looks inside your car, they know what that is. All right? I think that's pretty obvious that there's probably a gun under there. I would not suggest any kind of a hat with anything about firearms on it. Now, I do not recommend leaving a loaded gun in your car like this. This gun comes out of the holster and it comes with me. It goes into my holster on my body and it goes with me when I leave the vehicle. I do not recommend leaving a loaded gun like this in your vehicle. So, let's say my cap is over it. Now, I drive around like this all the time, folks. I do this a lot. All I have to do is remove the hat real quick and draw my gun. And you see the holster stays put. Now, we'll do that again. Got to practice it, but you can draw it real quick and you can grab the gun. Okay, and now my gun's ready to use, but the holster has stayed there between the seat and the console. So it's a pretty fast setup, folks. It's very fast. It's a pretty quick draw. Doesn't take long at all. I'm doing this one-handed, folks. It's a little tough here because I'm having to hold the... Here, let's do it this way. I'm having to hold the camera and the gun at the same time. Okay, Glock is in the holster. Holsters between the seat. There we go. Alright, once again, got the cap over it. All I got to do is draw it and grab my gun. remove the cap just like that and grab my gun. And now I've got my firing grip and I'm ready to rumble if I have to. It's pretty much that simple. Now again, this pistol goes with me and it goes into my holster when I leave the vehicle. So I hope that gives you an idea here. There, see, now I was able to put it back in there one-handed. Just keep a cap over it like that and you can do it. Now, one of the keys to making this work is you got to have a narrow space right here. Okay, if you have a vehicle where this space is real wide, obviously that's not going to work. And if it's too narrow, that's not going to work. I mean, I've seen some vehicles where the seat is right up against the console like that. It may not work. You might not be able to fit it in there, but I can with this car, and that's my setup. And every car I've owned, I've been able to get away with that. So hopefully you can too. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. This is Bob Main from the Handgun World Show. The reason I carry a gun is because I can't carry a cop. Thanks for watching.